The Eagles are Super Bowl champions, man. Yes! Connie!
They did it.
They did it!
They did
it! Ledoux, Chani, Brick, the good people of Fanatics Live. It is a day late. I apologize. You would not have wanted to see me yesterday at 9:30 in the morning. I tell you that much. Oh, my word, Connie.
You look like you're wearing it right now.
It feels good.
It feels good.
It feels good. It feels good, man.
You deserve it. You deserve it. It was, let me just tell you all something real quick, though. For all you bozos out there that were giving me crap for saying the Chiefs were garbage and they were skating by the hairs of their chinny chin chin. Look who still got hair on his chin today, fellas. All right, no beard shave, nothing wearing on the top of my hat, just a little dollar store Christmas present. All right, just staying in solidarity with my friend here, Josh. But yeah, I mean, this was not even a contest. This was the worst Super Bowl I can recall in my 28 years of life. And I've seen a lot of them, all right? I mean, going since I was 4 years old, okay? Back to the day. This was terrible. This was absolutely, utterly pathetic. The dynasty talk comparison between the Chiefs and Patriots, out the window. The GOAT talk between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, out the window. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. Look me in my eyes, okay? Terrible. Terrible. And I want to hear, are we booing Taylor Swift? The halftime show stuff? No. Zero on one thing. The Chiefs got absolutely manhandled up and down the field. Wasn't even close. Josh, back to you.
Yeah. It's funny how we look at this from different perspectives in the sense that you're focusing on how horrible the Chiefs were.
Yes.
And I sit back and I go, wow, the Eagles are one of the best teams ever.
Yeah,
you know, I
saw that note in the lineup or the rundown, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my goodness! Well,
yes, they were unbelievable in every facet of the game. So that whole rant is not to take away.
No, I know.
From the Eagles' dominance.
It was needed. It was a necessary rant. I like how it set the tone.
But it was, again, I mean, just jaws to everybody else out there that was coming for my neck.
Even me. Even I came for your neck. For those who might not remember.
This out weeks ago.
For those who might not remember, Connie in the middle of the season said he would shave his beard and tape it to the back of his head if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That was the one thing that would have made me feel better had the Eagles lost that game on Sunday. Was seeing Connie coming in here Monday looking like Redbeard over here with his hair on the back of his head.
Again, the color of my hair has no resemblance to my beard. My beard is red.
ZK.
And this thing is dirty blonde brown, if you really. Little Jackson Mahomes.
So I look back on the season, Connie. I think Chiefs, before the Super Bowl, they went 17-1 in games in which they played their starters.
Yep.
Everyone all season said the Detroit Lions were the best team all season, and I still would like to see how the Eagles would have fared against them.
Yeah, they were so hurt, so I give them a slight, get out of jail free card. Will be interesting to see how they rebound, losing both coordinators. But yeah, continue. That would have been, the Chiefs were terrible. So
did this kind of sneak up on us? Because I look back when the season ended yesterday, I was kind of taking inventory of how we got to this point, and I thought of the Eagles playing the Saints week 3 or week 4. Where they should have lost.
They should have lost that
They
game.
barely
100%.
beat the Saints 15-12. You know what I mean? And then you think about how they played not only against the Chiefs, but against the Commanders every game in the playoff. They beat the Packers 22-10.
Talk about
the most points
getting
scored
hot at the right time.
Most points scored in any playoffs.
Right.
Most points scored in any conference championship and Super Bowl combo of all time.
Right.
And this is a team that, defense, Saquon Barkley, all that.
Yeah, it was as perfectly executed. Again, a few hat tips that we have to give immediately. Vic Fangio. Dude, when you're getting pressure with the front four of, again, I'm the only bozo that took Jalen Carter over half a sack. He was the only one that didn't do anything. But Milton Williams,
MVP, honestly.
Milton Williams, Josh Sweat looked like vintage Dwight Freeney.
Dude, what do you guys know about Jalix Hunt?
Yeah.
He played safety at, I believe, Cornell 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Got a sack on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
It was next level, the next man up mentality. And again, you can tell me, Joe Tooney's not a tackle. Jawan Taylor's a below average right tackle. Okay. This was the same team. Now, don't roll out the red carpet of excuses. All right, Big Red Andy Reid and whoever else defending the Chiefs, because you got here with these same guys. Joe Tooney won the Chiefs MVP. Was voted by the players of his own teammates. Won
This
the
year?
MVP. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Joe
didn't even
Tooney
know
did.
that.
Yes, he did.
It's so stupid.
So again, it's like, don't save me the level of excuses from the Kansas City Chiefs. But all in all, like I said, this level of dominance, and I know you had the best team ever. I wouldn't go that far, but as flawlessly executed of a not just game plan, but of multiple game plans down the stretch. Remind you though, they were very close to losing that Rams game.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
true. They almost blew it.
very close.
They shouldn't have been, but they were.
Yeah, they should not have been. And again, and you can tell me all you want, Nick Sirianni this, Nick Sirianni that. Who is more to thank or congratulate, flowers, whatever, to give this team, Nick Sirianni or Howie Roseman?
It's Howie Roseman.
It has to be, right?
It is Howie Roseman. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. As
How
we're
y'all
waking
doing?
up here on a Tuesday, we were not able to react yesterday, so it's our big Super Bowl kind of reaction show today.
reaction show.
We will be getting Slab or No Slab up at 10 a.m. with a little
Heyo.
trivia question. I think you can kind of take a guess as to what type of question we're going to be getting into today for our Super Bowl trivia question today.
Yep.
But just appreciate everyone joining me today. I hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl in some respect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious. You said it was the worst Super Bowl you had ever seen. I am very curious how non-Eagles fans viewed the Super Bowl, to be honest with you, Conlon, because
it was bad.
I know me as a Birds fan watching it with my dad, with my buddies who are huge Birds fans, it was just this nonstop, like, there's no way that this keeps happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I felt like that in Rutgers games before.
Right.
Yeah. I felt dominant wins. You know what I mean? Back in the heyday of 2006, 2007, beating Army up and down the field. Like, no way. No.
ZK is saying, where is Rothschild? Show yourself, Big Tonka, because that man needs to get a fork, a knife.
Jaws. Oh my God, Jaws. I want to see that Travis Kelce jersey burnt. I was the only thing that ponied something up to the table here. All right, and I'm getting nothing in return. But I'm with you, ZK. All in all, like I said, yeah, it was good to see my thoughts, and at least I was getting ball knowledge barometer still at the 10.
There you go.
All right. Because, again, I didn't think this game was going to be close, and I just wish I had bigger stones to bet -6.5, because that's what I was talking about all week.
I tell you what, like, I thought if there was going to be a team that blew someone out in this game, I would have said the Eagles for like more than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I was very confident that this was going to be a one possession game with 5 minutes left or something like that. Who deserves the most credit? Are you saying Howie Roseman over anyone else?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah?
To me, it's really not close. And I've heard this a few different times. I believe Sirianni's contract's up after the end of next season.
End of this season, man.
Oh, it's this year?
Oh, he's
I thought
going to
he had another year.
get the Brinks truck is getting backed
So
up.
here's my thing with that,
Okay.
right? If you're Howie Roseman, there was talk this time last year that Nick Sirianni would be working at the Wawa in Sampson.
Big time.
Okay. What does Howie Roseman do? He brings in 2 new coordinators.
Yep.
Again, and if there's anybody, Nick Sirianni, you can give all the flowers to, Fangio should be right there with him. Kellen Moore, I think, again, did a decent job, and he obviously is moving on to, he's going to stay right there. He should have just, walked into his office and started setting up. However, if Nick Sirianni is bold enough, which I think he might be, just knowing his personality, to ask for some insane contract. Now, again, this is led at the phone lines WIP style. Would Howie Roseman have the cojones to say, you know what, I'm good. We can find somebody else because
no
I
chance.
built this team.
Connie,
No chance.
I love it. I love you trying to stir something up here.
Stir the headline.
And I don't think it is. I don't think it's the craziest thing in the entire world. At the end of the day, there is 5 coaches right now in the entire NFL who could say they have won a Super Bowl.
Yes, right.
And Nick Sirianni, it's Andy Reid,
McVay.
Sean McVay, Pete Carroll. Now that he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Nick Sirianni and
Doug Peterson. No, Doug
no,
Peterson's gone.
Harbaugh.
Yes.
Harbaugh.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, and Tomlin. So 6. So 6, big dog. 6.
No, Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. He won a Super Bowl with Santonio Holmes catch.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Cardinals game.
So there's 6 guys in the NFL who won a
And
Super
Big
Bowl.
Dog wants him gone.
Yeah, I know. That's the funny
That's
thing.
another story.
Nick Sirianni is the most recent one. Nick Sirianni brought this team from a collapse last season, was able to band them together. Oh, wait, Hoff's right. Seven. Sean Payton. Good call, Hoff.
Yes,
7.
very good call.
So there you go. I mean, that's actually more than I thought, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I do think it goes to show you, these guys don't grow on trees.
No.
And even guys who do, they can get kicked out of the league in an instant, like Doug Peterson. So I do think Sirianni deserves a lot of credit for banding this team together after last season's collapse. Couple things I wanted to get to in the chat here before we moved on here.
Okay.
Hoff says Super Bowl was miserable to watch. Everyone wants a close game in the Super Bowl. I'll be honest about that, Hoff. I am 50-50. Part of me, I love, as a sports enthusiast, love a close game.
Yep.
And I do think winning a close game makes it a little bit more special. But there's also something as a fan to be listen to that voice.
You can hear
listen to that voice. There's
the
also
inflection.
something as a fan that is just so badass about playing the big bad Chiefs and going up 34-0. The final score doesn't reflect the game.
No, not even
that
close.
game was a 37-6 game. And it's just it's a puff your chest out kind of there is no doubt. Ben, can you click that first hyperlink?
I was
genuinely what happened. How was it so dominant? Because this shows the success rate of Patrick Mahomes' dropbacks of his entire career. And it is it's ridiculous, the sample size. Look at this. I know this might look like a crazy graph to you.
Yes.
But all you need to know is it's showing his success rate in first half dropbacks his entire career. The small little graph on the bottom right, that's the Super Bowl. His entire career, he has never been made to look so foolish in one half of play than in the biggest game, one of the biggest games in his entire career. I cannot even for the life of me understand. It's one thing to win by a lot, but to do it at this level of dominance is beyond me. And I think a lot of people learned a couple of Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, a lot of names that people were not familiar with.
I said, and Jalen Carter, he gets all the hype. He did nothing, really.
He ate up the blocks.
Yeah.
He said, I'll eat up the double team you boys eat.
You can say that, whatever. He didn't cash any bet for me today. What I will say is there's 3 of us in this room right now, right?
Oh, yeah?
All right, so the Jets are what they are. The Eagles are on top. The Buffalo Bills, Benny, if they can't beat this sorry Chiefs team, what Chiefs team are they going to beat?
You know what, on that note, you want to pull up what I just sent you also? And Wifey's saying the same thing that I'm seeing a lot of people saying. Super Bowl sucked. Super Bowl sucked this year, a lot of people are saying. So you know what I think that means, Connie?
Yes.
Run it back.
Oh, boy.
Run it back next Sunday. Super Bowl 59-2.
Yes.
The one that everyone deserves.
Yes, that would get you 2 back in, I promise you, because I said I was done with football season. Baseball season, pitchers and catchers report tomorrow.
Let's go.
But I would watch that game, yes.
Come on, run it back. This is what the people deserve. We need to have the Eagles Invitational now. They'll play the Lions. They'll play the Bills.
Exactly. Just made of bananas. They'll just go city to city. Yeah.
Because that sucked. It sucked.
It did
and
stink.
we deserve better. I thought, I'm surprised. I thought there would be some people who were like, oh, man, it was just so fun to watch Mahomes and Kelsey cry.
I mean, it was, again, I think you could tell where the crowd's favor lied when they showed Taylor Swift on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Definitely Eagles fans traveled far better.
That crowd, man?
Oh, dude, I was in shock. When I heard I knew it immediately when I heard the boos coming for the Chiefs coming out of the tunnel. I was like,
dude,
sounds like the link.
This is,
and again, they fired up when, again, of course, and I will say this because I can't stand them, but I have to give them, I'll eat my words. Congratulations to Mekhi Becton. He ate himself out of New York. And
did you see him on Twitter after the game?
Yeah, he's a clown. He's an absolute clown.
For those who didn't know, he was smacked, as the kids would say, I guess. Tweeting at, who is it? Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Holla at your boy. He's a Super Bowl champ now. About
he also has a kid and a wife. So that's fantastic. Yes, he does. So all in all,
I did not know that.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Mike said 80%.
Boots on the ground report right there.
Field reporter
saying 80% Eagles fans.
Tell me all the hoop.
Yeah, come on now. We got Mike and Ashley doing our bidding for us.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry, Connie.
No, dude.
This is a pure emotion. There's no analysis for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Pure emotion, pure vibes. Golly. Fun fact for you. Devontae Smith touchdown, by the way, which was one of my favorite plays. Did you know that was the first touchdown from a player drafted out of Alabama
I
in
saw
NFL
that
history?
stat. That cannot be true.
What?
That cannot be true.
That's like that might be crazier than the Steelers like 3 coaches. You know what I mean? Like
That's
impossible.
That to me was lunacy. I saw that.
And Bob.
Yeah. What up, Bob?
What's up, Bob?
Yeah, I gotta do some more vetting on that because I'm like, that's just, to me, is insane. Again, you throw that out there, people are like, all right, yeah, wow. And I'm like, no way.
No.
Somebody go back and through this. There's no way.
Eddie Lacy's talking about a guy eating himself out of this league. There you go.
Yeah.
So, all right, that was kind of just my emotional excitement vomit for 15 minutes.
Sure.
As you can tell.
So let me take it over here real quick then.
Yeah, you got it.
So you were back in where?
So I'll be honest, I was not actually in Philadelphia. I made the executive decision. My buddy was having a party in Philly.
Okay.
And it was tempting to do the whole Philly thing.
Would you have made it here today if you had gone to the party in Philly?
Probably.
Fork in the road.
Probably because, man,
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying I'm more power to you that you made it back. I mean,
I'm pretty rough. I was pretty rough without going to Philly, but I was in Doylestown. I decided to stay with my dad, watch this one with my dad because you know what? 2017, watch it with my dad.
There you go.
Keep it in the family. They win. 2022. I'm in Rochester. I say, you know what? Let me have a little party. Let me watch it here. Let's not go back.
Something about that city, man.
They lose. So I said, 2024, you got to go back. You got to go back to your roots. 2025, go back to your roots.
Yeah.
Go to your hometown. Watch with my dad, and they won it. My goodness, I don't know what was more impressive, the Eagles' defensive line or my household's beer consumption that night. Hey-o, I'm just saying.
Put it on the board.
But I walked into my town.
Uncle Ken's drunk.
Walked 2.5 miles, right after the Super Bowl, into my town square.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we had our own little
they had their own
celebration.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
I was gonna say so then I'll go back to the post game celebration. Funniest, and again, obviously, I saw the big was a garbage truck essentially that was used as a podium. I thought the best one was how possibly the 6 police horses were left unattended on the street. I saw people riding around, down Broad Street, which again, I lived in Philly for a year, know very well a lot of those locations that were just points of absolute utter chaos. But just, dude, seeing those people in a starter puffer jacket from the 90s, go Birds! Riding like it's the Yellowstone. It was insane to me.
I will say the best video I saw that I did not want to play because we can't encourage this type of behavior. Someone was on top of a subway car. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, Subway Surfer.
They were okay to my knowledge, but I didn't want to play it. Some dude was sitting on top of a subway car.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Again, there's so many days of the year that you can say Philly's not a real place.
Yep.
That was never more evident than again. And to me, so I don't know if Jim Kenney's still the mayor of Philadelphia. He was when I was there, but not. He's no longer.
Sherelle Parker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right, I have my own feelings on Jim Kenney, but nevertheless, the Super Bowl parade, right, in all its glory and stuff like that. Do you think is going to be any more tamed down after? Because again, I remember when they won in 2018. Yes. I was still in college. I was at Stockton. So we were all like, let's drive to Philly right now.
Yeah.
And thank God that idea was nixed by somebody in the group. Was like, hey, we've all had a few. Yeah. Probably not a good idea to drive an hour.
Come on.
Yeah. So we all better cooler heads prevail, whatever. But do you think because a lot of my friends did go to that parade that year. Do you think the parade turns into something that's unsavory, if you will, for the city?
Unsavory?
Unsavory meaning that there's going to be far more damage done and they're going to, decide that there is no parade.
No, not a chance. If there was going to be, it probably would have been at the last one.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, man. This one will be crazy. It's on a Friday. It is on a Valentine's Day. There is going to be a lot of proposals.
Yes, yeah, okay.
There are going to be a lot of proposals on Friday. I'll admit, if I was home, I might be one of them.
Hey, come on,
how can you not?
That's why you're back here.
If you're waiting for a day to do it, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's perfect. It's just... but man, it's going to be fantastic. I will say, 2017, it was more the excitement. I think was a little more, understandably so. To be completely honest,
really?
You want me to be objective? Yeah, because
I guess the Patriots. It's the first one ever.
It's a better game, and you grow up in the city hearing everyone saying we're cursed, we're never going to win one. That when you grow up, you start to believe it. Right. And to see them win one now I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled, quite frankly. Let's talk. Let's talk sports. Let's talk sports. I don't want to make this all about me all day.
No, I'm
dying over here. And you know what? We got to talk sports because there's a lot to talk about too. When there's actually, you look at the two. Let's start with the quarterbacks, man.
Okay.
I want to talk about these quarterbacks here.
Yep.
You didn't know they were going to win that game until the clock hit 0. That's true too, Big Dog. And Big Dog texted me when it was clear the Eagles were going to win the game.
Me and Dog had a nice little. It was me and him.
There you
watching
go.
At my apartment.
And Big Dog didn't hear from me for the rest of the night. I went 0 dark 30 after that. Sorry, Big Dog. I love you. It was not personal. All right. I think there's one big question. Would you agree?
Okay.
There's two big questions after this game.
Talk to me.
Who is Jalen Hurts? And who is Patrick Mahomes?
I'll start with Mahomes. First and foremost, like I said, Mahomes. The GOAT talk needs to pause, if anything, if not end. Like I said, it was just that was no. He was no bigger than, or how did I describe this? He was not able to lift his team out of the depths of whatever that Tom Brady was able to do. In that, you just the most comparable Super Bowls. 51 against the Falcons, right? 28-3, come from behind. And deep down, Tom was smiling through his Ozempic jawline.
Did he was?
Yeah, he was. Right?
What's up, Merchant?
So at the end of the day, the GOAT talk of Patrick Mahomes needs to stop. The Chiefs dynasty being compared to the Patriots, I think needs to end a little bit too. But at the end of the day, like I said, Mahomes, he has not been good, or not been great, I should say, for 2 years. He really hasn't. He really hasn't.
I can't disagree.
They won last year. Again, he played far better last year, obviously. But again, he's been good, not great for 2 years straight now. So I think the whole Mahomes this, Mahomes that has to just dial it back a little bit. I think again, one thing we haven't touched on, but the NFL honors Josh Allen winning MVP. I think was certainly deserved. I know everybody was all over Lamar Jackson. I did think Josh Allen deserved it. With the people he played with this year, compared to Lamar Jackson, who had Derrick Henry and who had a decent receiving core. So I just think, again, Mahomes is far more human than people were initially describing him as, or at least going to this game with, than Jalen Hurts. Again, when Jalen Hurts plays within himself and utilizes the tools he has around him, there is nobody better in the league. And I truly believe that. When he again,
and you've said this all year. I got to give you credit, Connie, because you have been higher on Jalen Hurts and ZK. Shout out ZK who nailed it going into the playoffs. But Connie, you even put me in my place a couple times this year talking about Jalen Hurts.
I do,
and I give you credit for that. All right, real quick, let's just focus on Mahomes.
Okay, because
I think this is a little more interesting, honestly. And I want to talk a ton about Jalen Hurts and give him all the flowers in the world. But I do think Mahomes is shocking because I don't think the GOAT talk needs to stop. We need to put a pause on it.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Until we see the version of Patrick Mahomes that we believed was the truth.
Right.
Because you're right. You look at his 2 regular seasons, they are nothing if not mediocre. They're good, but they are not great. No. The difference between this season and last season was he won a Super Bowl last season, which, look, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
you're a quarterback who wins a Super Bowl. You are put in an upper echelon. I don't care if you're Doug Williams. I don't care if you're Trent Dilfer. You winning a Super Bowl as a quarterback is an amazing feat. 2 years in a row for Patrick Mahomes. He's outside of the top 5 in both touchdowns and yards. Back-to-back years. And would you believe he is in the top half in interceptions both this year? And in fact, he was a top 5 in interceptions last season prior to garbage time in this game.
Right.
Mahomes had a passer rating of 10.7.
Jesus.
That seems unfathomable for a guy that we were saying the GOAT. For reference, in the playoff game against the Texans, Justin Herbert's passer rating was 40.9.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
Just generationally, Ian Book levels of bad here in the first half.
Yeah, Nathan Peterman.
No, seriously though. And it was just jarring for me to see. So I guess You say the GOAT talk needs to stop. I'm saying put a pause on the GOAT talk.
Pause, stop, whatever. Again, there's a lot needs to happen for him to be back in that conversation. So I say an indefinite pause for a number of years now to get back to it. A very long pause, exactly.
Can't get blown out in two Super.
Yes.
That's a good point too, Mike. And like not to do like the cross sport thing. And I watched. I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, like zoned out with First Take on yesterday.
Okay.
Which is like I never watch it. It's a bad show. Like, it's actually a pretty bad show.
Yeah, Talkin Slab, come on.
But anyways, like they were former friend of the show, Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
But they were talking, and it's like. You do the cross-sport comparison where you do the Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate, and it's like, well, Michael Jordan never lost a finals. If you want to do the cross-sport debate
come on. I mean, that's not even close.
Mike, it's a good point. You can't get blown out in two Super Bowls. Tom Brady never got blown out at all in a Super Bowl. Happy Tuesday, Tika. Brady number 1, Montana number 2, and then Mahomes. Now listen, Godzilla.
I can go either way until Montana.
I think we might be speaking a little bit with our hearts. Because
it's just recency. I mean, we just watched him lose by, again, essentially, you can say, what was it? Ended up being 18 points. It was really like 30.
It was 30 to 40.
Yeah, 30 to 40. Yeah. Talk about Xavier Worthy betters. Very high today. If you had Xavier Worthy multi-touchdowns, you are sitting pretty. It's the best Super Bowl ever.
I just think, man, like, with Patrick Mahomes, it's not the GOAT talk that I think is interesting because you look at all the quarterbacks now. He's the only guy that can compete, and I think we will always have this conversation of who's going to beat Brady because it's what we do as sports fans. Right. I think the bigger question now is, do we have to question his status as number 1 right now?
Josh Allen's the better player right now.
Like so every year, last 2-3 years, it's always every show does it. Well, we know Mahomes is number 1. The battle's for number 2.
No, it's not. So
you're ready to start that conversation.
Yeah. I'm not ready. Believe me, I have the conversation. I look at it every day before I leave my house. Like, play like a champion today. I said Josh Allen and then Patrick Mahomes. I tap it on the way out. No, it's tired. It's, to me, lazy, to be quite honest, because it's easy to say that again, watch the last 2 years. Watch the games.
I'm sure, but like
because they're winning, right? Just because they're winning, and again, they easily could have had 4 to 5 regular season losses this year. Easily.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, just the different things, the just wacky stuff. The Raiders snapping the ball and fumbling. The Broncos getting their kick blocked. Yeah, I mean, there's so many little things. Week 1, Isaiah Likely was a shred of blade of grass. So again, at the end of the day, this conversation needs to happen and is far more easily debatable than it ever has been.
Oh, no, that's without question. That's without question.
And again, I stand by it. Like you said, he just won the NFL MVP. Josh Allen to me is number 1.
So you're ready to put him number 1 when you go into next season, when you do your quarterback rankings?
Oh, yeah.
Is it? And
again, and Lamar has a good case for 2. I could easily have Mahomes at 3.
If you really want it, I think there's people out there who could put Mahomes at 4 with Burrow. People love Burrow. People love Burrow. I will not. Let me just say this. I will not. I am still, and I am ready to change my mind next season. That's the difference.
Okay.
Is this season there was nothing that could have changed my mind. I am on, not fraud watch, because there's no way Mahomes is a fraud. But next season,
we're still a top 5 player in the league.
I will still have him as number 1, to be honest with you. I can't help myself.
You can't.
But I am ready to change it. This season there was nothing that could have been done to change it. I am ready to change it at the drop of a hat next season for any of those guys we just named. Now, I do think the natural next question becomes with Jalen Hurts and where he lands in this whole scheme.
Yeah.
Hold one thought on that because I think it's trivia time, ain't it, Benjamin? Let's go. Let's get a slab off the board. We're feeling fresh off the Super Bowl. We had no slabs yesterday. We had no cards yesterday. So let's get it going here. Trivia question for today. It's a simple one. I asked a similar one going into the Super Bowl. And now that we know the result, it's time to ask how many active starting quarterbacks have appeared in multiple Super Bowls and won one. At least one, that is. How many active starting quarterbacks? All right, so no Kenny Pickett here, although he hasn't appeared in 2, but you get the point I'm making. All right, just ride and pine for a couple Super Bowls.
Kenny Pickett's appeared in 2 Super Bowls?
No, I realize he hadn't.
Yeah.
So that makes no sense. No Chad Henne, right? I think with the Chiefs. How many active starting quarterbacks have appeared in multiple Super Bowls and won at least one? It is not a long list. It is not a long list.
I was just going to say, I can think of the only 2s.
Two of them played. Two of them played in
yeah.
this game here. 2, 3, 4, or 5. 2, 3, 4, or 5 are your choices. It comes down to you can name 2 played in this game.
I cannot name anybody else.
How many more are there?
That's a good question. Real quick, and I think I did lose my train of thought here. Oh no. Oh no. One name that came to mind when I was watching this game with Dog, and I was just thinking to myself, you know what? Again, he's a nutcase 3.
We got it.
3.
Russell Wilson's the only other one.
Okay.
Russell Wilson's the only other one. Yeah, it's crazy.
Good. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
How much did Tyreek Hill mean to that first Chiefs run? That first Chiefs on the map type. Because again, there's not been a true number 1. You can say Travis Kelce. I'm talking wide receivers. Not been a true number 1 wide receiver since Tyreek Hill. Like an elite wide receiver. You can say Rashee Rice. You can say whatever.
Connie, right away, my first rebuttal is they won 2 without him. Did they not? They won 2 without him. Yeah.
They won the Niners one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They won 2 Super Bowls without him.
Yeah, okay.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think you're right. And I think it's a huge problem with the Chiefs, and ultimately a big reason why they lost this game.
That's a good point.
But look, before I get off the rails, because I feel myself getting off the rails here, I do want to give credit to Xavier Worthy, not only for having a great game, but for never celebrating once.
Yes, respect that.
That entire Super Bowl from a rookie, a guy who was drafted this last year, who people were I don't want to say clowning him, but halfway through the season, people were like, I don't know about Xavier Worthy. Man, that guy's good.
Yeah,
that guy is legit. And he showed maturity because I remember he was flashing his money with his girlfriend. Remember that when he got drafted? And people were questioning his maturity.
Yeah.
I do have to give Worthy credit. No one else gets credit. No one else gets credit on the Chiefs.
It's just
Xavier Worthy for having a great game. I do think it's a good point you bring up, but I think but this is why I give credit to Mahomes, and why I have had him number 1 for years is because after Tyreek Hill left, he kept doing it with Mecole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
It was Tom Brady-esque. Let me call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But the buck stops here, man.
Yes, it does.
There was nothing Tom Brady-esque about this game, and you guys nailed it. Talking about Brady being in the booth, someone was saying it's like a Gotham villain. You know what I mean? With his Ozempic jawline, just getting to watch the other guy.
Britt Briggs calling out the refs.
This is what happens when the refs don't show up for the Chiefs. Britt, the refs could have called everything that whole game for the Chiefs. You should know as an Eagles fan that it did not matter.
It did not.
Johnny, the most Tom Brady-esque thing about this game was the Eagles winning.
Hey,
let's go,
Johnny on the board.
I'm not an all-22 guy, but I can't, the way that Mahomes was running around, no one was open. There was no way anyone was open that whole game.
When you can drop 7, it's a lot harder.
They didn't blitz once.
Yeah, that was insane. Again, to me, if you're talking MVP, Jalen Hurts deserves all the credit in the world. If you want to give the MVP to a unit on the field, it's the defensive line.
Right.
It was relentless. I don't recall, again, a single drop back where Patrick Mahomes, when he gets to spot, if in the shotgun snap, you normally take a 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, back foot, normally the ball goes out. Where he even got to his 3rd step before you have to come off his, basically, if you call it in the quarterback room, his dance floor point, right? You're on the dance floor, whereas his point X on the dance floor is he could not get to his 3rd step before he had to come off that point and move. It was unbelievable.
And I just kept waiting for the moment to change, and every time he kept scrambling and running and trying to make magic happen, there was no one there, or someone dropped the ball.
Dude, I had him with 6 rushing attempts. That was the only thing that didn't hit. I had Juju over 1.5 catches. I had
right?
Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Mahomes 6 rushing attempts. He had 4. I had Mahomes over 285.5 combined rushing and passing.
Did that hit?
No, 282.
It came close.
282.
Dude, Mahomes.
282. Bad beats.
Mahomes' stat line.
Need fresh produce here.
It pissed me off, quite frankly, to see his stat line. Because I was going to look at it, and I was like, oh, what did he throw, 105 yards? How did he get 257 yards at the end of that game? Talking about garbage time.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of comments here about Mahomes. Godzilla says, Mahomes' demeanor was lackadaisical. Imagine if that was Brady, he would be screaming at his team to get them fired up. That's true, Godzilla.
I actually do agree with that, too.
I half agree, but I also feel like it happened so quickly that at a certain point, what is there, you know what I mean? And it was directly Mahomes' fault. That how is Mahomes going to scream at his team when he lost them that game so early? Between the pick six to make it 17-0, and then once it was 17-0, boom, immediate interception.
Well, the
Who
pick
was he
six
screaming
is
at?
100% on him.
Yes.
The second pick was, yes,
Cooney
he threw
got
it.
back into him.
Again, he gets his back little foot hit. He's got nothing on the ball. Zach Bond makes a hell of a play. Again, hat tip to Zach Bond. What an unbelievable game, unbelievable year for that guy. And it was at the end of the day, it was, I do agree with, there was no big red fired up. It was just kind of like sit back and like it was like a boxer got hit in the face, and it was just the entire rest of the game was on the ropes. Again, that first drive when the Eagles go out and they don't score, they get the phantom call, which again I didn't like the next penalty that went against the Chiefs. I thought that was an immediate makeup call.
Agreed.
Again, I thought they got those out of the way early, so credit to the refs. After that, I thought it was there was nothing really you could call.
There's nothing you could call.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, like I thought, wow. That was a big drive. The Eagles needed points in that first possession. They go for it on 4th and 5. They hand it over to the Chiefs. Had pretty good. Then they end up punting. So the Chiefs are starting their own end. They pick up a first down. I want to say Juju picks up the first down right on the first play, the RPO.
And that was it.
And then that was it.
They had no first downs the rest of the half. By the way, Godzilla, whose line are you referencing? So we were saying all this right about Patrick Mahomes, and let's kind of just bring it back to what we're on this app for: cards.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, yeah. You would think, right? Mahomes' market might have taken a bit of a dip, wouldn't you? Ben, I just sent you the link. This is shocking to me, man. Unmoved.
Yeah.
Unmoved. It's gone up.
That's crazy.
Mahomes' comps, according to Card Ladder, have slightly gone up since the Super Bowl. I have no idea what to make of this.
Yeah, I have no idea. What about Jalen Hurts?
Honestly, maybe the thing with Mahomes is maybe people are just like, what does the volume say there, Ben? Is that what you're looking at? Is the volume? How much is sold? 48,000 of Mahomes? Oh my God. So I was wondering.
And I'm over here invested in jail stool.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, maybe people just didn't move a lot. Like, that would make sense to me if people were like, oh, well, he sucked. Like, he's still Patrick Mahomes. There's $50,000 of Mahomes cards being moved, and if anything, it just kind of went up a little bit. Yeah. That absolutely blows my mind that Patrick Mahomes didn't take a hit in any of his card comps. I get it. Look, he's a stud. I would have thought we saw some people being like, maybe this is a little bit too much money. He's no Tom Brady. That blew my mind. But you're right. What about Jalen Hurts? Let's flip it over. Connie, you have always given Jalen Hurts a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys out there, how do you view Jalen Hurts? And this was a huge topic yesterday, for any show you listen to. And, I kind of want to take our stab at it because no one came to a good conclusion in any show I was watching or listening to.
Yeah, there's a lot of crap on TV.
Because I think it's impossible. It's impossible to really, put Jalen Hurts in a box. There's one thing I know about Jalen Hurts, Connie. He's a winner. That's all he does.
That's a great, the first word to describe him is a winner. The second was flatliner. The even keeled demeanor, and I know a lot of the great ones have it, but like Tom Brady gets fired up and he gets in your face and whatever, and Mahomes can act like the fake tough guy that I think he is. You can tell my disdain for Patrick Mahomes runs deep. But again, at the end of the day, and again, I can't say Mahomes is a phenomenal player, and I just think that, again, his act is a little tired, and I think the Chiefs circus in general is tired. But Jalen Hurts, again, when it's all said and done, just the plays that need to be made, he makes. He does get in the habit, again, when he strays outside of just, like, again, the one pick he throws. Busted protection by Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson.
It was a horrible interception.
Yeah. But bad decision, right?
Yeah.
Bad decision. So he's just like, I'm going to take a chance to throw it up to my... But again, there was no play there to be made. That's one where either A, take the sack, or B, try to throw the ball out of bounds. You probably get an intentional grounding, so probably just take the sack. But again, when he does that kind of, like, doesn't try to be Aaron Rodgers, who just throw it up, let Devontae go get it. When he's, again, because I don't know if he's that great of a downfield passer, which I think that might be his biggest struggle, is accuracy maybe a little bit down the field. Like I said, power runner when he makes the right decisions. Again, and oftentimes doesn't really put the ball in harm's way. That was an exception.
Almost never.
But
second turnover in 14 games.
Like I said, when he does what they tell him to do, again, at the end of the day, that just turns on. That's a coach's dream, right? Just execute the game plan I laid out. Kellen Moore did a hell of a job. Interesting, very interested to see who comes in to replace Kellen Moore. Have they already done that?
No, they haven't.
Okay.
That'll be an off-season discussion. Whether
Because
it's in-house.
this is 9 months down the road, but if they lose week 1 or 2, WIP going to be lighting up, all right? Talking about Jim from, King of Prussia, calling all in, they'd be like, we need Kellen Moore back. This is not the same Jalen Hurts, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it'll happen. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Sam chimes in. I watch high school football games better than the Chiefs, the way the Chiefs play in that Super Bowl. I'm with you, Sam. I would agree with you on that. Hurts in his 2 biggest games of the whole freaking year. This is the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl combined. 37 of 50 through 75% completion percentage, 7 total touchdowns, 467 passing yards. Then you go back, think about the biggest game of his career prior, the 2022 Super Bowl. I didn't write the stat line down, over 300 yards,
he was
ran
good
for
in that
70
game.
yards.
He was very good in that game.
In the biggest games of his career, Jalen Hurts is one of the biggest players in the NFL, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He has outperformed Patrick Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls now.
Yes.
And is 2-1 in his career against Mahomes.
Yeah.
All time, including the regular season.
Right.
Where do you put Jalen Hurts? Is he in the elite quarterback conversation for you, Conlon?
Yes.
You're ready to call him elite?
Elite, yes, absolutely. Elite, like I said, I don't know how you could not, really, at this point. Like I said, sure, does he have a phenomenal roster around him? Great offensive line, best running back in the league. 2 outstanding weapons at wide receiver. He does, again, but are you going to fault him for that by excluding him from that elite conversation? You can't. Again, when he does what needs to be done, and again, when you're talking about what's the ultimate goal in this sport, and in any team sport, is to win, and the first word to describe Jalen Hurts is as a winner, how could you possibly keep him out of that? Like, again, there's guys with more talent than Jalen Hurts. There certainly is. There's a number of them. But again, like, the end of the day, like, you're talking about a guy like Justin Herbert, who people fall in love with Justin Herbert to the hours down.
Mr. 4 interceptions.
CJ Stroud. You know what I mean? Because people that, again, Jalen Hurts is never in those conversations, and he absolutely should be. I'm banging the table. Jalen Hurts fan club starts right down here in Tampa, Florida.
Mally, and I think there's a lot of people who are on Mally's side who says he's a Philly legend, but not elite. But and also does
5'2", 350, Mally.
And he does say, I am a hater. Which listen, I don't think there's a lot of Jalen Hurts haters. You know, I think a lot of the Jalen Hurts haters actually have a Philadelphia area code for most of the season. And me being a little hot and cold on him, it's funny, Connie, because I'll be honest, I don't know if I truly call him elite. And that's me being an Eagles fan. I'm just being 100% honest with you. But that doesn't mean he's not a top quarterback in the NFL. I do think there's something to be said about talent, right? But I do think, like, at what point are the results what you are?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Again, that to me weighs in heavily when I factor all the different things when you're talking about quarterback status.
And me too, Britt. And me too. Like, is he elite? I don't know. He's not. And Mally, that's a good way to put it. He's not elite. But, I don't think Joe Flacco was elite. I think
come on.
What's that?
Nowhere close to the same player.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is because there was the conversation back in the day when Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, and there was a conversation, is Joe Flacco elite? I think we ended up saying no. I think Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Flacco.
Yeah, and he's been better longer than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, again, went on his sense. That's like saying, is Nick Foles elite when he went on the run in 2017?
He was in that run.
In that
sample
sequence.
size. Yeah,
right.
He was.
Again, to be elite, you have to be.
Hell yeah, I would. Sam, are you kidding me? Yes. I mean, it's the core 4. There's a list everyone can agree on. It's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Lamar. That's it. All right, that's it. Those are the elite quarterbacks. Now, it's funny to say, Jalen Hurts on any given day can be better than all 4 of those guys. But I don't know if he's elite still. Because I know, it sounds insane. I know it sounds insane. Somebody give me
the formula here. Was anybody taking notes?
None. There is none, because I don't think we've seen a guy like Jalen Hurts. He is the anomaly. I think I've just figured it out. He is the greatest game manager in NFL history.
Mahomes, that's insane, Britt Breaks.
No.
That's insane. In what universe?
You can't say that after this game.
The MVP, Josh Allen's our elite.
You can't say that after this game.
My God, we've been brainwashed. I tell you what, they've been shoving this down our throats, and this Taylor Swift, Patrick Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes, the whole Big Apple circus in Kansas City. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
God. Come
All right,
on.
wait. We got a lot to get to here in the chat. Mally asked a
Are
question.
we watching the same games?
Mally says, "Can Rodgers win it with Philly?" No.
No, because he's again.
I love Aaron
Rodgers is about Aaron Rodgers. That's the biggest difference. Jalen Hurts plays for the name on the front of the jersey before he, again, talk about a guy that was benched in the national championship in college. Followed up, he was the backup the following year. All he does is come in and beat Georgia in the SEC title. Again, for years, this guy has been told he's not worth it or not capable, and all he does is those games and go out and win football games. So again, at the end of the day, this is furthering my argument. I'm getting hot. Somebody call a cardiologist. Because at the end of the day, all he does is win. Shout out DJ Khaled. And that's, to me, Jalen Hurts is, what can you blame him? What else does he need to do? What else does he need to do?
What's up? Good morning,
what else
SMS.
does Jalen Hurts need to do?
Hang on. Giveaway is running. Giveaway's running. Let's put a pin in it. I want to see who's taking down a post-Super Bowl slab today. Good luck. Fat fines. Let's find you a fat one. 125 and 50. No more charity work today, by the way. Did you see I was trying so hard to give away a slab on Friday?
No.
I started throwing out random numbers. I was like, if you had 26, you win a slab. If you had 15, you win a slab. 21 today.
21.
Let's go, fat fine. What are we taking down this morning?
Oh, James Wood.
Oh, that's a good one.
Guy's going to have a
there
really
you go,
big year.
Fat Finds. James Wood, that's a prospect, by the way. That's a James Wood prospect. Wave refractor to 125. Let's go, Fat Finds. Congrats to you.
Oh, I like that shirt today,
look at this. Look at this.
Is that the pullover?
That's class.
What? The shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, the Nike one. Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations to you, Fat Finds. Guys, we will be running this giveaway back at 10:45. You will now have a 1 in 49 chance. A 3 in 49 chance to win a slab. If this is your first time with us, we do this every single morning, 9:30 to 11. One giveaway at 10 a.m., another giveaway at 10:45 a.m. We just do some sports talk. And then at 11 a.m., we get back to the cards. And, of course, we do a lot of card talk in here. We will be doing Jalen Hurts card talk in just a moment. There is some more I want to get to here regarding Hurts as a quarterback as a whole. Let's see. We got a lot in the chat I was not able to get to. Let's see. Mally, okay. Who would we consider the worst possible quarterback to win with that team? Worst possible quarterback to win with that team. Now, it's funny you ask that because I do think Jalen Hurts' style of play is very specifically... it's
curated
perfect
to that offense.
Right,
yeah,
right, which I do think gives Hurts specifically more credit.
If you tell me, so this is where I guess I'll play devil's advocate against my own argument.
Okay.
If you give Jalen Hurts and say, go win in the Lions offense, right?
Right.
Like, again,
I think he would do great.
Yeah, similar talent level, I think, at weapons positions. But you're like, hey, go win the Jets. I don't know if he does. But again, I don't know if Joe Burrow turns the Jets into a 12-5 football team.
Well, no, because I think look no further than this season with Joe Burrow, where he played out of his damn skull.
Right.
And
so
they
again,
can't make the
why
playoffs.
is he considered elite?
Because and just being, and this might be a bad answer for some people. It's what my eyes tell me, Connie. It's what my eyes tell me. And can we be honest about
Can we get Jalen
something?
Hurts on the show? Can we do that as in our budget?
No, because you know what? If he would come on the show, it would make you think he's less elite because he's dry. And I think it's beneficial for him.
That's insane.
It's beneficial for him, where he's dry because he doesn't care about anything other than winning. He's not, and listen, he's a handsome man like Joe Burrow.
He is a good-looking guy.
But he's a good-looking guy. But Joe Burrow is a total package because he has those cool one-liners.
And he's those cool glasses.
Jalen Hurts speaks in Instagram captions.
Back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cartier glasses that don't even peek at you.
Yeah, exactly. These are off the dollar store.
Johnny says Jesus could save the Jets, and Britt says not even Jesus could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Britt, how can you not? I got a crush on Jalen Hurts too.
Listen, yeah.
Look, here's the deal though with Jalen Hurts at the end of the day.
Connie like Pikachu.
I